So, you meet someone. The chemistry is off the charts. The connection feels incredibly real, and you start to think, this is it. This one is different. But then, a few months later, it happens again. The same old frustrating patterns show up. The passion cools off, the fights begin, and you're left with a broken heart, asking yourself, why does this always happen to me? Well, what if I told you it's not just bad luck? What if it's a few sneaky subconscious habits that are pushing love away without you even realizing it? Many of these come from our past, and we don't even know we're doing them. Today, we're going to drag those habits into the light and give you the tools to finally break that cycle. First up, one of the fastest ways to sabotage a connection is the need to control your partner. Now, this doesn't always mean making obvious demands. It can be much more subtle, like constantly asking who they're texting, making them feel guilty for a night out with friends, or trying to heavily influence their career choices. Let's be real. This behavior almost always comes from a place of deep insecurity, jealousy, or a fear of being abandoned. It's not really about love, it's about possession. And while you might trick yourself into thinking you're protecting the relationship, what you're actually doing is building a cage. This just crushes trust and makes your partner feel resentful and emotionally boxed in. The way out is to consciously practice trust. A healthy relationship needs air to breathe, which means giving your partner the space to be their own person. This is about trusting them, respecting their independence, and finding security in yourself, not in managing them.
Action.
2. Poor communication and conflict avoidance. The second habit is a real 1-2 punch. Terrible communication and its best friend, conflict avoidance. This is when you drop vague hints instead of just saying what you need, get passive-aggressive, or just go completely silent when a problem comes up. You might think you're keeping the peace, but you're actually just letting resentment build up until it poisons the entire relationship from the inside out. Here's the deal. Unresolved issues don't just vanish, they fester. A healthy relationship isn't one without arguments. It's one where you know how to get through disagreements together. Sweeping things under the rug makes it impossible to understand each other and solve problems, which destroys the foundation of intimacy. The fix? Learn to communicate directly and respectfully, even when it feels awkward. Use I feel statements to share your emotions without it sounding like an accusation. Instead of running from a tough conversation, set aside a time to talk when you're both calm. It's in those moments, when you navigate conflict as a team, that a true partnership is forged. Habit number 3 is a lack of personal boundaries, which is a slippery slope right into codependency. This happens when the line between you and me gets so blurry that you start ditching your own needs, your hobbies, even your friends, all for the relationship. You might feel like a super dedicated partner, but what's really happening is that you're losing yourself. This kind of enmeshment just leads to burnout and bitterness. It can make one person feel suffocated and trapped, while the other feels like they're single-handedly responsible for their partner's happiness. That's not a partnership. It's a merger, where individuality goes to die. The solution is to build and respect personal boundaries. It's not selfish to have your own life, friends, and needs, in fact. It's absolutely essential for a healthy relationship. Communicate your boundaries clearly, but kindly. Scheduling some me time and encouraging your partner to do the same doesn't create distance. It actually makes the time you do spend together that much better. If any of this is hitting home for you, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. We're all just figuring this stuff out, and this is a space to support each other through it. And I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments which of these habits you recognize, either in yourself or in others. The fourth toxic habit is getting stuck in a victim mentality. This is when you constantly feel like you're being wronged, believe that bad things are destined to happen to you, and you just can't seem to take responsibility for your part in any conflict. If your internal monologue sounds a lot like, "It's not my fault," or "Why me again?" then this might be you. This mindset is so damaging because it makes accountability impossible, and you can't grow without it. If everyone else is always the problem, you never have to take a hard look at your own behavior. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where things are always bound to go wrong, and it stops you from building the confidence you need for a true partnership. The way forward is to practice radical accountability. This isn't about blaming yourself for everything. It's about owning your role in the dynamic. Just ask yourself, what was my part in this? Shifting from blame to responsibility is where your power lies. It empowers you to change the patterns because you finally see the role you play in them. The fifth and final habit is obsessing over the negative and holding on to grudges. This is the habit of scorekeeping, constantly bringing up past mistakes, and focusing way more on what's wrong with your partner than what's right. When you do this, you create an environment so full of negativity that it's impossible for love to actually grow. Holding on to old hurts keeps you stuck in the past, unable to enjoy the present. It locks both you and your partner in a painful cycle of blame, chipping away at your happiness until the whole relationship feels like one giant unsolvable problem. The solution is to consciously practice forgiveness and shift your focus to the positive. Try to create a new habit where you appreciate the good things more than you criticize the bad. This could be as simple as ending each day by telling your partner one thing you were grateful for about them. It shifts the entire energy of the relationship from blame to appreciation and gives it the space it needs to heal. Look, breaking these habits isn't about trying to be the perfect partner. It's about becoming a more self-aware one. The moment you recognize that controlling impulse, or you decide to state your needs clearly, or you set a boundary, or you take responsibility, or you choose to let a grudge go, those are the small, powerful choices that break the cycle. It takes real courage to look inward, but the reward is huge. A relationship built on trust, respect, and a real lasting connection. You absolutely have the power to change these patterns. Thanks for being here. If you want to keep learning how to build better connections, make sure you're subscribed for more.